March 24th marks our 2-year anniversary of launching the Whisky and Things podcast. And in that time, we have learnt one thing for certain. We love bourbons.
Yeah, and bourbon. Yeah, so this week we're sipping on a 10-year-old example from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Eagle Rare Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
And if you're thinking, I like these guys' voices, then why not head over to our social media accounts to maybe see our faces at Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
And we've been doing this 2 years now, and we need more reviews.
We really do, in fairness.
And subscriptions and ratings and stuff. It's not me being, pushy. Yeah, could we just have some more,
if you've been listening to for a while now and you've not done it.
2 years I've been editing this thing.
Why haven't you given us a review?
Yeah, why not?
Come on.
Really easy.
Come on. You don't even have to write anything. Just click on the 5-star bit if you want. But if you want to write stuff, great. But, give us a break, will ya? Give us a break.
Come on. Make it worth it.
2 years.
2 years.
You're listening to Whisky and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 105. I'm Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent.
Mate.
It's been 2 years, David.
I was about to say that. Happy anniversary. Happy birthday.
Anniversary to you.
What is it? We'd had this conversation last year, I'm sure. Every week starts with a bit of confusion where we just had a conversation before we press record. Anyway.
Yeah, would have just saved it. Yeah.
Saved it.
Would have made everything sound more professional.
But then they wouldn't have had this gold, Nicholas.
Oh, this gold of us, this really natural conversation of us working out what we should have worked out beforehand. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we launched on the 24th of March 2020, everyone.
Good year? No.
No, there wasn't. But there we go. Dave, I got your present.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Ah, beautiful.
There we go.
I wondered what you were doing. I thought you were lighting a scented candle, but no.
I'm showing Dave. I've got a cake, no expense spared. A cake with a little candle.
Lovely cupcake. What kind of cake is it? Red velvet?
That's a wicked, it's a lemon cupcake.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm going to blow out now because the wax is dripping on the lemon.
You don't want that. Don't want that.
There we go.
You do not want waxy lemon cake.
All right, turn it out now. That was well worth it for a podcast.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it that you got me a present which I can't enjoy. I massively appreciate it. It looks great though, Nick.
Hang on, I'm handing it to you. There you go. Now taste it, Dave.
Oh, seriously though, when is that going to be a thing? When is it going to be? It's going to start small, isn't it? You've got to think that when they start being able to teleport objects, it's going to be things like cupcakes. That's going to be amazing, isn't it? Where we can have this meeting and you can go, open your little drawer on your computer, and you can get a cupcake or something small, in a small little box. Someone's got to be working on that.
It's a bit Jean-Luc Picard, that. No, I reckon you can send 3D objects, can't you? 3D printed stuff.
I can't eat that though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you can. You can get 3D printing like icing things. I'm sure you could. You just replace the material with something edible.
That's a good point.
Sugar.
That is a good point.
There must be something like that already, where you can send stuff which is edible, like a 3D
like
printing
you put
file.
into a box.
Not even that, just a file, like a 3D printed file, or it scans it quick.
Same,
yeah, it scans it, and then it kind of
comes out as a cake.
Yeah, if you like. Anyway, this is a whiskey show, everyone. Maybe can you send whiskey like this?
Well, that's the thing. That's my point. That is my point. We could have to send samples of whiskey to each other, literally on the day. Like the moment it's about, Nick, we haven't got a whiskey this week. Oh, what have you got on your shelf? Oh, this. Oh, send me over one. Boom. Instant hit.
Yeah.
One day, Nick. Hopefully in our lifetime.
Hopefully, mate. Anyway, that was 5 minutes of intro gold.
All right, let's crack on then, shall we?
Now, let's do it.
Right. Feels like ages since we've done a bourbon, Nick.
Mate, it has. It has been a while. 75. Episode number 75.
No way!
Yeah. Woodford Reserve. When we had our live show with our patrons.
We've gone 30 episodes with no bourbon.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I went back and had a look at the old spreadsheet. If it's not, then I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it's been a while. We've done loads of scotches recently.
That's really interesting.
And then we went through our international phase, didn't we?
Yeah.
While we're at the road, as it were. So yeah, it's been a little while. But
Shabby
today,
road.
Yeah. You're going to say the immortal words, Dave, as it's...
This week's whiskey.
Eagle Rare Kentucky Straight Bourbon.
All right, Nick. Straight away, use of the word there, I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered what straight bourbon whiskey means.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll do a quick Bourbon 101. How about that? Seeing as it's
sounds great, mate.
2-year. To be a Kentucky, to be a Kentucky straight bourbon, it needs to be made in Kentucky. To be a bourbon, it needs to be made in the United States.
Right.
That's the first bit, which makes it a bourbon. It's their national drink, believe it or not.
Really? Amazing.
Yes.
Good
Also,
stuff.
to make it a bourbon, aging must take place in a new charred oak barrel. Bourbon has no minimum specified duration, though, for aging. You can whack some new make in a barrel for literally some minutes and take it out and call it bourbon. Or if it's not a bourbon, you can just call it a whiskey and all that kind of stuff. Right, to be called a straight bourbon.
Oh, here we go. The crux of the question.
It needs to be aged for 2 years at least.
Oh, that's what that means.
Yes, that's just a bit of quality control. So people know it's been aged for 2 years at least. But yeah, bourbon aged under 4 years though, so between 2 and 4, you need to be able to put the age statement on there so people know. So if it's 3 years, it needs to have 3 years. If it's 4 years, it doesn't need to have anything on it.
It just needs to say straight bourbon.
Yep, straight bourbon, you know it's 2 years.
Straight bourbon straight bourbon without an age statement on, it's at least 4 years.
Yes.
Fantastic.
There
Straight bourbon with an age statement on of 2 to 3 years, it says.
Yeah, 2 to 3, yeah.
Love this.
The mash bill of bourbon needs to be at least 51% corn in that mash bill. The rest of it is made up of rye, wheat, and they usually have about 10% malted barley to, because they need the enzymes and stuff. They need those natural enzymes for the, making it, chemistry.
Are you sure that's actually the reason, or you just...
No, that is. I've just forgotten which part of the fermentation. I think it's in the fermentation, probably in there. Anyway, yeah, I've been doing this 2 years. I should know the distillation process, really, shouldn't I? Anyway,
you know a lot more than me, mate.
Yeah, there's another one. You can't put it in a barrel higher than 125 proof. That's what, 160 something ABV, 60 ABV. Yep, 60.5 ABV. And you can't put it in a bottle less than 80 proof, which is 40%, which is the same around anyway. And you can only add water to it as well. You can't put colouring in bourbon. Right,
they don't allow that at all.
Don't allow it.
So you should never have to question whether a bourbon has got, whether it says no colouring on there or it doesn't mention the colouring. It can't.
It can't be legally a bourbon.
Well, there you go.
So there we go, which is nice. I like that.
Mate, all of those are great facts. That's some really good. Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's amazing. We may need, if we're going to spend 30 episodes between each bourbon, we may need to go through that again.
I had to go over it again. I'm sorry. What makes the straight whiskey? What makes this? I know it, but I just need to
refresh it. Yeah, for sure.
All the time.
There's things, I always wonder what that is, and now you've told me. I'm sure I'll forget at some point. I'm sure you probably told me before, but
yeah. Well, maybe not. I mean, because we do so many on this show, I just forget stuff because we jump around from different categories all the time. I have to keep going back to stuff all the time.
I'll be honest, Nick. I've been thinking about that all today. Since you said we were doing this earlier, and I've been thinking, oh man, I've got to get my bourbon brain in because we haven't done one in ages. No. And it's such a different flavour profile. Forget all the information you've just given us, which is also completely different. Just the flavour profile and the expectation is so much different compared to a Scotch. Yeah. I won't go on about this for too long. Obviously, we're dragging already. But when we started doing 2 years ago, Nick.
2 years ago, listeners.
When we started this, I would have said that bourbons were my favourite whiskies, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember at the beginning it was going to be, you learn about the bourbons.
You never let me.
I never let you.
No, absolutely not. Every time I've offered to do more work,
everything else. Yeah, that sounds like me.
Exactly, it does. Anyway,
but we love bourbons, always have, and you've been a real fan of them.
But weirdly, we've not had anywhere near as many. Now we've had so much more Scotch and other world whiskies. I'm not sure I would say the same.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure I would say that bourbon are my favourites. I would say, I love it. I don't really do daily whiskies, but I love a whiskey, a bourbon daily, but equally there are so many other stuff now that I would happily drink daily, like the Samuel Gelsons from last week, for example. Like really drinkable. We know of a lot more whiskey now where actually I don't think I would say, oh yeah, well, I'm only going to drink, if I'm drinking daily, I'm only going to have a bourbon. I don't think I would say it's something as naive as that now.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, you mentioned dailies. I don't drink at home anymore, but my daily was, when I did drink a lot more, it was Buffalo Trace, which is where this bourbon is from.
Right, so it's one under their umbrella, because they've got loads, haven't they? They're like the American Diageo.
Yeah, but Diageo own a load of different distilleries. This is one distillery. This is the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Kentucky, Frankfort, Kentucky.
They have lots of different whiskey coming out of that.
Yeah, they have so many.
Brands, rather.
Yeah, ones that people will recognise. Obviously, Buffalo Trace is from them. Blantons, that's them. I think a lot of it's the same distillate as well. It's the same new make. They have a few different mash bills, but it's more or less the same stuff. Blantons, E.H. Taylor's, Pappy Van Winkle. That's from.
You love that.
We've all seen. I haven't had any. We couldn't afford it.
I thought you had some. I
don't think so. No, it was like £100 a shot in my local place.
Oh.
It's gone down a bit now, but yeah. Sazerac Rye, Elmer T. Lee, single barrel, that's where Weller, that's them as well. All kinds of stuff. All comes out of the same place. It's been going since, they started distilling on the site in 1775, but apparently the distillery was constructed there in 1812. So I'm not sure where they distilled it in 1775, like a shack or something. I don't know. Another fun fact, during Prohibition, they were still allowed to distill whiskey for medicinal purposes. And the company claims that the distillery is the oldest continuously operating distillery in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been going a while. Yes, we've done a couple of these before. We did Blantons back in episode 61. That was May 2021. And in May 2020, episode 7, we did Buffalo Trace, the original one. So if you want to go back, I did a lot more about the history of the distilleries back in those. So if you want to go learn a bit more, check them out. 61 and 70. But yeah, it's all from that place.
What do we know that's different about Eagle Rare then compared to them? It's
10 years old. That's the big one about this. It's aged.
Right, okay. So you can't get a 10-year-old Buffalo Trace or something like that?
No. This is kind of it. They have like all these different bottlings to differentiate for what people fancy, you know. Nice. Blantons is single barrel, for example, from a particular warehouse H, and a particular, racks and all that kind of stuff. The honey barrels, they call those. They're single barrel, they're bottled by hand, and they go out, and they're very kind of, they're very collectible because all the bottle labels are done by hand, and it's a single barrelness for that. And the tops are different. They've got different racehorses and numbers and letters and all kinds of stuff. But Eagle Rare, I'm pretty sure it's kind of the same as Buffalo Trace, but it's aged longer. I think Buffalo Trace is 5 to 7 years old, depending, the original one. And that's a steal for that. You can get those for 18 quid in Tesco on a club card. And yeah, that's why it's my favourite. It's just a really good, really dependable bourbon.
Good value for money. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a 10-year. And they do other ones as well. They do a 17-year. Released every fall or autumn, as we call it here. And they also do a double eagle, very rare, 20-year as well. Now, I tried looking for these prices. The double eagle, very rareness eagle, I found it for 13 grand. Woo! It comes in a nice decanter with like an eagle, like nice kind of eagle
Bloody
glass stopper and yeah. But I found out on winesearcher.com for 13 grand. The Eagle Rare 17-year ranged, I found out Master of Malt, like some past prices between 120 and 500 quid a bottle.
Right, okay.
So it depends on which.
So they're both very rare for the Eagle Rare.
Well, it's not Eagle Common, is it?
No. But does that mean that what we're drinking today is hard to find, Nick?
No, it's not.
Because I've seen it quite a lot.
It's very easy to find.
Oh, you got a fresh bottle. Fresh
bottle. I did get a fresh bottle. Yeah, I got a fresh bottle as it was. Well, as I didn't have any because the bottle I took the sample that you have is gone. Went ages ago.
Did it now? Oh, good pop.
That was a good solid pop, wasn't it?
That was a great pop. Real cork or?
Yep, real cork, plastic top. Well, it's quite smart. It's quite smart. Nice. Little eagle on the top there.
Nice. So you good opening like that.
Yeah, the bottle is quite plain. Okay, here we go. This is the big thing for me straight off the bat. It's quite a tall bottle, and it's about 2 millimeter, too tall to fit on my shelves.
Oh, irritating. Is there not another whiskey like that? Yeah.
Bimber.
Bimber, yeah.
Yeah, this has to go in Bimber World, which is really annoying. I can't put it in my American section.
Well, maybe that's the rareness of it, Nick. What makes it rare? The fact the bottles are taller.
Yes, just a little bit taller. So
that's interesting.
It's one of those things, all right, you put it on the top shelf, but I don't want my really tall, top-heavy bottles on my top shelf.
Yeah, for sure.
No way. That's where my small glassware goes, because it's got no weight to it. But good Lord. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a bit too tall, this bottle, which is annoying. There's not a lot of information on the bottle. You got your name and you got a lovely picture of an eagle. It's quite wine bottle shaped. Yeah. Everyone knows what that is.
Yeah. And, weirdly, I find the branding rather odd. Like to me, to me, it looks more like a bottle of wine than a bottle of whiskey. Even everything about it, other than the color, like obviously the content of the box, it looks different. It just looks different. I suppose that's a good thing. It does stand out on the shelf. When you see it in a bar, you spot it. Oh, there's Eagle Rare, because it pops out a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. It is what it is. It's functional. It could have been a bit more extravagant, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
but what have we got here?
Wait till you tell me how much it costs before I decide whether it should be more extravagant or not. But we'll get round to that. Nick, I'm going to start smelling, if that's all right.
No, you can't.
Okay, fine.
You're listening to Whisky and Things. These British people talk funny.
I have one comment, Nick, about this, in the sense that when we did Bullet, we've also done the Bullet 10.
Yes.
And we talked about the idea that the Bullet 10 didn't add enough value for us for the extra 3 or 4 years it was in the barrel. We both we didn't really get it. We not that we didn't like the Bullet 10, but we didn't see the difference as much as we perhaps would with other drinks. I wonder whether this will be the same. And certainly going into even smelling this, that's my expectation, which is interesting. I kind of am not expecting to be blown away by this.
Okay. I know what you mean. We did come to a point where we thought just bourbons did all taste and smell pretty similar. It was there was a slight difference here and there, but was it worth the extra money? I kind of want to side by side this with some.
Oh, you got some, have you?
Yeah, I got some regular. I'm just going to do a bit of a side by.
It's a really nice smell, that, isn't it?
It is a very nice smell.
I'll tell you what's interesting is that sometimes bourbon can smell really sweet, and this doesn't smell overly sweet, does it?
No, it's got a spice to it. I don't know how much rye. I don't know about the mash bill for this. I can't find it anywhere.
Right.
No, it's at least 51% corn, but the rest of it, is it rye? It's probably rye. Don't know how much wheat's in there. Probably not much, if any.
I'm getting butter popcorn vibes, Nick. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm kind of getting a fresh, citrus to it as well.
Well, that's very kind. Something we always say with bourbons, don't we? Tend to anyway.
It's definitely got so much more in the nose than the original Buffalo Trace. I should have probably smelt the Buffalo Trace first, but it's definitely got a lot more aroma to it.
Can you smell toffee crisp, Nick?
Ooh, yeah, I can see that.
I'm definitely getting a toffee vibe mixed with some chocolate, but not overly sweet. Do you see my point?
Yeah.
All right, that smells really good. I'm enjoying the smell of that. Would I like a candle? Absolutely.
I'm getting a bit of a leatherness to it. Bit of posh leather.
Oh my, Nick, that's so good. That's so good. I just had a sip and I'm like, that's actually really, really surprised me.
Oh yeah, I've had this before and I remember really liking it, but on a refresh, that's so much flavour to that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Mate, what percentage is that?
We're at 45% ABV.
Yeah.
It's not extravagant.
But it's not, yeah. Sometimes I think bourbons can do the thing of being very ethanol-y, right? Mm-hmm. There's got to be a better way of putting that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And this isn't that. This is really enjoyable. There's like a dark chocolate vibe in there, for sure, with the citrus. Oh, yeah. Nick, I'm all over this. This is just lovely. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, cool. For our listeners' benefit, on their website, their tasting notes are nose, complex aromas of toffee, hints of orange peel, herbs, honey, leather, and oak. The old notes. Taste, bold, dry, oaky flavours with notes of candied almonds and very rich cocoa.
Cocoa.
A very rich cocoa. What's put an A on the end of it, though?
I don't know.
But no, it's a cocoa plant, isn't it?
I've always said cocoa, but I may be wrong.
Cocoa.
How
got
to
an A on the end. Pronounce cocoa. I'm sure it's like a cocoa plant.
You may, well, I'm not saying you're wrong, Nick, but
no,
I look at that word. Hang on a moment.
Anyway, finish. Dry and lingering.
Cocoa. Cocoa.
According to Google.
Cocoa.
Why? Cocoa. Well, there you go. You come here for a good schooling, everyone.
Cocoa.
Enjoying that?
Cocoa.
Great. Okay, thanks. Just drum it home.
Yeah, just to drum it home. Thanks, anyway, I'm very much enjoying it. It's got a lovely aftertaste to it. Enjoying it, mate. Should we do some scoring?
Do you know how much it is?
Oh, of course. Yes, I do want to know how much it is. Right. I'm going to be disappointed if it's over 50 quid. I'm hoping it's about 40 quid.
Yeah, I'll be very pleased to know. I bought this in Tesco today for £35.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's not
amazing.
even on offer. Whisky Exchange do it for $38.95. But yeah, 35 quid. And again, on offer, it goes below 30 sometimes.
I think that's very good, personally, because I think this is a really good bourbon. Or it tastes really good. It's really drinkable.
It's like a step up from your everydayers.
Absolutely.
If you've got someone round, you give them a bit of this. This for me is up here with like the Maker's Mark 46 kind of areas.
That's a bit more expensive, isn't it? 46.
It's around 40 quid.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'd say, maybe a little bit more. And Blantons is up in like the 65, 70s. So
I remember that. I remember thinking that wasn't worth the jump, but this definitely feels worth the jump.
Yeah. This is just, it's a solid. This is just a bit more than your, how much is Woodford Reserve? That's the 28s, isn't it? Or 30s. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah, Well, yeah, on Master and Malt, 28 quid.
Yeah.
But yeah, late 20s, early.
You're paying for the 10. Yeah, it's the 10-year-old for this. That's what you're doing. You got a good solid 10-year-old, at least 10-year-old bourbon, which is pretty good, I think. Further reading on the Eagle Rare site isn't great. Not a lot on there. If you want the further reading about that, you go to the Buffalo Trace website.
But there wasn't much on there either.
No, there's a lot about the history and there's a few bits and pieces. But there's some stuff. There's some videos and stuff on there. I thought it was all right. But on the Eagle Rare site, they do like an award every year.
I saw that.
Life Award.
I was going to bring that up. I think that's really cool.
It's cool. They have 2 pages. They want one about the whiskey and another one about this award. They select an individual who's worked hard in the charity sector to help people in need, and they donate $50,000 to their charity.
Yeah, it's cool, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, they've got a list of all the winners. They've now 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it looks like they've been doing this for 11 years, which is since 2011. So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, it's a fair 50,000. That's a fair chunk of money, isn't it? That's for, and they're all fairly small charities. They're charities I've not heard of before, so they're all. I like that. It's clearly going to have made a massive difference to those charities, which is wonderful. Anyway, Nick, shall we do some whiskey scoring?
Let's do some. Let's tick some boxes. Let's put some ones in some columns, Dave. Bourbon. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Dave just mentioned that neither of us gave it any bonus points.
We didn't.
No. Because I wanted to dock it a point for being too tall, but then it wouldn't have had any points in the bottle section otherwise.
Well, I think that's why you haven't given it a bonus point.
Yeah.
Too tall.
It's too tall. It's just too tall.
Like me. I feel its pain.
It's not bimbo tall, but it's just too tall.
It's great on the inside, but too tall, just like me.
no thrills. It's pretty bland looking.
Just too tall. Just like me.
The branding's a bit boring. It's so American, though. I didn't read any of what was on the back of this bottle.
Just like me.
There's not much about it. It's just like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The cornerstone of the birth of a nation. Epitomized by the American bald eagle. And that's like, there's like another 20 lines like that. Just bigging up America. Which is fine. You know, America! But it's just all marketing American jargon, which is fine.
We don't really do that over here, do we? Even on like big, I suppose we have the by appointment of the Queen stuff on some projects.
We have a coat of arms and stuff. Yeah. We don't need words. We just put a coat of arms on something.
Yeah, it makes it very British.
Yes, brown sauce. The Queen has this. Yeah. Boom. HP, the Queen, or Houses of Parliament.
There you go. There you go.
You've got to put eagles and all kinds of crap.
So, shall I reveal the scores, Nick?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. Well, you have scored this the same as Epicurean.
Oh, really? That's pretty high. What have we got?
And 65.71. And I am slightly behind you, 62.86, which gives it a fairly central 64.29. I'd say that's what we have said from day one with this scoring system. We think if you're in the 60s, you are doing all right.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
That's a strong whiskey.
It wasn't far off the George Takei Oh My pass for me. But earlier on, I took a sniff of the Blantons, and that made me go, oh my. There's something a little different about the Blantons for me. I just went, oh yeah. I mean, this is nice, but it didn't make me go, oh my. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So after five we've scored so far, it slots in at second place.
Second place? Yeah. That's not too bad.
Above the Epicurean and below Samuel Gelston's Single Pot Still Irish.
Irish whiskey.
Yeah. Sorry.
I thought you froze it.
No. I just didn't say whiskey. Irish. I just thought that was a given.
Oh, yeah.
So what show is this? Oh, sorry. Let me start that again. Samuel Gelston's Single Pot Still Irish Port.
Yay. It says it on the back here, actually. Where is it? This Kentucky bourbon whiskey has a sweet, oaky, and full, complex body. Oh, sorry. Has a sweet, oaky nose and a full, complex body. Reminiscent of a fine port wine, this rare whiskey is best served neat or over ice.
It's interesting because neither of us mentioned the oakiness.
Yeah.
I am now smelling it. Like now it's been pointed out to me, on the nose, I'm definitely getting some woody vibes. Remember sometimes you say about furniture polish?
Yeah, no, I think that's maybe where the leather was coming from for me as well.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, there is a bit of furniture polish for this. It's a very comforting old lounge
smell. Yeah, absolutely.
Smell.
Yeah,
it'll go very well with that. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'll be putting all the links to their Facebooks and Twitters and stuff and Instagrams if you want to comment that their bottle's too fucking tall.
Not that you're bitter about it.
So fucking annoying.
Mate, you should have done what I did. My whiskey shelf, I matched up.
Your bespoke kitchen.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could have
my shelves came out of a
bespoke shelves. Well, you should. Before you bought the flat pack, you should have measured a bottle and said, how big do I need these shelves to be?
I reckon I could shave off some of the top.
You probably could.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to shave off
get rid
some
of the eagle
top.
at the top.
Yeah, get rid of that eagle. The bottle doesn't need to be the bottle top doesn't need to be that tall. I'm going to do it. I literally need a couple of mil.
Mate,
get in the hole.
Mate, it's got to be an Instagram post.
Get in the hole. I did one. I've done one last year when I had the last bottle. I'm pretty sure
I meant of you sanding it down. That's the ultimate. That should be the first Whisky and Things reel. Bottle doesn't fit on your shelf.
Bottle doesn't fit on your shelf.
Sandpaper. Take sandpaper.
We'll get that annoying voiceover thing.
Oh yeah, whatever they do. Who does that?
Eagle wear doesn't fit on your shelf.
Let me tell you who does that voice.
Cocoa.
Google pronounce.
It's a great movie, that Coco.
It is indeed. Anyway, moving on. Sting me.
Why they ever let two Englishmen have a whiskey podcast, I'll never know.
Hey, mate, quick any other business for you? Oh, he's eating the cake. He's only... Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Rubbing it in. Rubbing it in. I was just going to say, isn't it great that Formula One's back? That was all I was going to say.
It is great it's back. It was a good race Sunday.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah. This cake's really good.
I'm sure it is. And you've had your share.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone for listening last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for...
If you're still around. If you listen to them all, well done.
Yeah, that's
one
good
more
effort.
bite. It's quite small.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But, sorry, where are my manners?
Unbelievable.
I'll send you a cake in the post, Dave. But yeah, thanks for listening. We got, apparently it takes 3 years for a podcast to launch. So, we've got one more year of this and then we can give up. 3 years apparently before anything gets popular.
Amazing.
So,
amazing.
Yeah, we're 2/3 of the way through, Dave. Then you can get your Mondays back.
Yeah, because it takes so much time out of my Mondays. You have no idea.
Yeah, for this 25-minute episode, we've gone down to. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks to our patrons as well.
Yeah, thanks to anyone who bought a t-shirt.
Support. Yeah, I'm wearing a Whisky and Things t-shirt today.
Or
Number one in a while.
Whiskey chip. No, what are they? Whiskey coin, challenge coin.
Whiskey challenge coins.
Still got some of them.
Whiskey and Things Glencairn. Still got a few of those under my bar.
Remember the glory days when we had toilet paper?
Oh, mate, yeah. Still got mine.
Still got mine.
Have you used yours?
I haven't used it.
Huh?
I haven't used it.
I'm pretty sure my brother's used his.
That's amazing.
That
is amazing.
I don't know.
If any of our founding patrons still have theirs, please let us know. Anyway,
the founding patrons.
That was the deal, wasn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. Do you remember we made some wicked videos back then as well?
Man, your introduction
when I had
video,
enthusiasm.
Mate, your introduction video for Whisky and Things at the time was amazing. It was so good.
I was proud of that. That was right at the beginning of lockdown.
I watched it recently. Pissed myself laughing.
I just moved into a new flat. I was all excited. Then lockdown happened, but I still had enthusiasm. And we'd started the podcast, and I made an introductory video for it and stuff. There's a lot of stuff of me on the toilet.
Do you remember that video I did of me playing Scrabble? Was that part of that, or was that something different?
It was part of that, yeah. I think that was the extended cut. You're also talking to a cushion version of Danny Gruff, and you taught yourself to juggle as well. That was in there. As soon as we're talking about it, I might put it on our Instagram this week again.
I'll do it.
A little refresh.
2 years.
2-year refresh. Wow. Anyway, I can't believe it's been 2 years. It's been mad.
It both doesn't feel like 2 years and very much feels like 2 years, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Yeah, but equally, I can very much believe it's been 2 years.
A lot's happened.
Yeah, but not a lot's happened.
Yeah, a lot more should have happened. Yeah, a lot more couldn't happen. Let's put it that way.
Cocoa.
Oh, she's hurried us along, Nick. Cocoa. I think we've had our share, mate. I think that's any other business. This show's got far too long.
I've had my cake and I've eaten it, Dave.
You definitely have eaten it. All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Right. Okay,
cheers.
Take care. Cheers.
Thanks for coming. For 2 years. Oh, dear.
2 years. Whisky and Things has been brought to you by